What's going on, Orpha? I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. And in this video, I'm going to be introducing another resident that lives here in Central Florida. And she's going to be sharing her story and advice with you guys to help you make some moves. So stay tuned. What's going on, Orpha? Thank you so much for joining me. And I am here with Daisy Franklin, one of my good friends here in Central Florida. And she is here to give her story, her journey, and advice on how to move to Central Florida. And also, just business advice. I know she has some really cool things that she's doing in her life that I would like for her to share with you guys and for whoever that is in the middle of the journey of relocating. So welcome, Daisy. Thank you so much for taking this time for us.
Hi.
So first of all,
Excited to be here. Thank you for thinking of me, and I can't wait to just chat with you and share any information I might have that could be helpful to people.
Tell us more about yourself, when you relocated, why did you relocate to Central Florida? Like, why did you end up here?
Yeah, so I am from Philly. I love Philadelphia. Born and raised, and then I moved to Connecticut for grad school. And my husband is from Florida, and he did not like the cold weather. And he's like, okay, we need to move.
Right.
So I ended up getting a job in Miami.
Okay.
So we moved, he's from Fort Myers, but we moved down from Connecticut to Miami. I worked there at the United Way for a few years. And then I worked for Aspira of Florida, which is, if you don't know the organization, it historically Puerto Rican organization that started out in New York, program organization I went through back in Philadelphia. So it was a really great fit for me to give back to the organization that gave to me. And it's youth leadership development and helping the kids, to know that there's a plan and a future after high school and into college, and you could be successful. So I was the Miami-Dade County Director for that organization. And then they did a reorganization. And so there were county directors in 3 counties, and they went into a regional direct structure, which means 2 of the directors, we lost our jobs in the process, which happens. The person that stayed for the regional director position, she was actually there for over 20 years. So it made sense that she would stay. Mm-hmm. And in our heart of hearts, we knew we wanted to move to Orlando, to Central Florida, because my mom has lived here. She's lived here since 2004. When I left to go to grad school from Philly, she said, okay, I'm done, bye. And she came down to Florida.
Did you visit her? Did you visit her back and forth when you?
Yes, we would visit for sure. I visited all the time. I drove back and forth. I flew. I did it all. I drove. My brother moved here in 2005, I think. I drove him down. And then my husband and I we met online.
Really?
And we did long distance for a while, back and forth, Fort Myers, in Connecticut for a while, and then we would meet up in Orlando sometimes. So
nice. Kind of like that was the
Orlando. Yeah, Orlando means a lot. When everything happens with Aspira, we knew we needed to transition. We went ahead and say, let's go to Orlando now. Within 2 weeks, we were in Orlando.
Wow.
Lived with my mom for a few months, which was good. Thank God she had a home that we could, live in a room. So we got here, and then it took several months, as you can imagine, to find a job and then find a place for us to live and all of that. But that's kind of the story up until then.
So how long did it take you to find a position? Was it hard? Was it difficult?
As you can imagine, even now with everything happening, unemployment, the process is not a very easy process for anybody. You have to do all these hoops and stuff, but we both applied. I applied to, I think, over 150 jobs or 200 jobs. He applied for, again, a lot of them because we had to keep track of them.
Right.
At the time, we didn't know anybody here as far as in the business, to make those connections. But he ended up working for a nonprofit. This was so we moved in July, the middle of July. And then I started that job in November.
Okay. So it took time.
And
I tell them all the time, is connecting with people and meeting people. And this is the reason I do these. So that way you have a feel of like who lives here, what they do, and how can I connect with them. So it is truly important to connect with people that are in the community that
for
can
sure
give you that push, So that's good.
One community I connected with right away was, so I went to a church in Miami. I told them, hey, we're moving to Orlando. Do you know any churches? And they were like, oh yeah, Rodney Gage, he used to, when he lived in Texas, he used to be part of our church. And so go check him out. So we looked at, it was Fellowship Church then, it's Rethink Life Church now. And we said, okay, let's check this church out. We'll check out a bunch of them and we'll see where we go. Right. And we went there and we've been going there ever since.
Right.
But having a church family helped. Even during that time where, you know, weren't employed and all of that, we would go to life groups and connect with people in small group sessions, having a support, having people pray for us. A lot of the people didn't really have experience. I'm in the nonprofit field. They didn't have connections there, but just having that faith base, really a foundation helped. So yeah, that was really big for me. And then when I got that job, believe it or not, so we got our place. The one thing I wish I knew the neighborhoods better and where to get good housing, because you want a good place to stay. You don't want it to be dangerous, all that other stuff. But we moved into a pretty cool place off of Curry Ford. We stayed there for about 2 or 3 years. But so I worked at the nonprofit November, then in April, they got a decision. So nonprofits are usually grant-based, or you get funding from government or whatever. They got a huge cut and they ended up having to eliminate 1/4 of their staff. I was 1/4 of the staff. So I lost my job twice in 1 year.
Wow.
And this is where I say faith, having joy in the Lord, having faith, strong faith, trusting him goes a long way.
It does. So, okay, so you got your job in November. And after November, when did you get your place? Like, when did you start looking? Like, when did you find something?
November, like 30th.
You're like, I'm out of my mom's house.
We were looking. We were trying to be smart and proactive. So we were looking at different places because, again, we had faith that we were going to find jobs. We were going to be able to get a place. We did get, the unemployment and all of that. We would save since my mom was fantastic and let us stay with her. So we were able to do that. So we looked at a place and then we found the place as soon as I had the job. I literally applied, to get the place, and everything was approved fast. And we were able to, I think we moved in November 30th for like basically December 1. But that's because we did research.
Right. Did you only look around your mom's area, or did you look around your job area? Like, what did you do when you were looking for an apartment?
The neighborhood that I knew better. So my mom's area, not too far from her, but also keeping in mind, I was like, okay, what's the commute to work? What makes sense? So all of those factors.
Right. Okay, so your parents were here, your mom was here. So you didn't do any research, even prior to, when you were in Miami, searching, you just came and you just kind of
literally got the U-Haul, packed it up, packed up the SUV. We ended up having to make 2 trips because apparently you can accumulate a lot of stuff. And we were like, what is going on? We went back. When we went back to get the rest of the stuff, somebody had broken into the place and took some of our stuff.
Oh, man.
It was overnight, too, within 24 hours. It was a very crazy situation. But we came. We didn't know anybody. I knew my mom. I knew some of my mom's friends, because when I would visit, I knew them.
Right.
And then the people from church when we got here.
So yeah.
And that was it.
So
my brother lived here.
Yeah, so you don't really have to have a plan. You just got to wing it, do it, make it happen, step.
That's faith. And then just know that you don't have to plan, just take the plunge, right? But you have to research, you have to do legwork. As soon as we got settled, it was like, okay, let's get to getting, let's look for different places. And then my husband and I would share what's what. And I'd be like, I don't know about all that. Or we would go look at places. The other thing we did, did we get that place from that? I'm trying to think, because we've moved a couple of times, but we use a realtor to help us find the place.
Okay. Was it a local realtor, from church that you knew, or did you find her or find him?
I'm trying to think if that first time, if we used a realtor. I think so. We used it all the time in Miami. That's kind of how you found an apartment in Miami.
And also in New York, but I know in Orlando, there's so many apartments and leasing consultants. So it's it's not really, people use them if they can, but there's other ways of finding place too.
Yeah, I don't know if it was that time, or I know that definitely the second time we used a place. We looked at a few places, and then, my husband saw that place, and we looked inside, and it looked nice, newer. We didn't have all the upgrades. We didn't need all the upgrades. We don't need stainless steel and all that. We need a place to live, right?
Right, to start.
And then I'm from up north. All these insects down here. I don't deal with that well. So we looked around for that just
So,
because, believe it or not.
no
So now
first floor, no first floor for you.
we were on the first floor. There was no upper level. So it was
Oh
all
my
first floor
God.
and there was all grass.
Oh,
It wasn't that bad though over there. But some of these places, like now we've been blessed, we have a home. You would go look at these places and you're like, can you clean up? Like, what do you think? Like, did you just have the place bombs and now you didn't come clean up or anything?
right,
Like, this is not okay.
right.
And even the realtor will be like, oh my gosh, like, why?
Yeah,
Why
looking
would
for
their
like,
listing agent, not clean up or whatever? We
right,
found the place. It was probably a combination of us searching and finding a place and then having someone connect us
right.
to do the viewing and all that other stuff.
Yeah, it makes it easier, the process. And then they're doing the legwork for you. They bring the information. Now, when you use the realtor, were you looking for an apartment or were you looking for like a home or townhome?
We were looking for an apartment,
Okay.
anything really that was in our price range.
Okay. No, I mean, yeah, hey, you tell them what you
Gotta
want.
keep it real, right? We were like, okay, it would be great to have 2 bathrooms because we're 2 people and you know how that goes, and at least 2 rooms. So we knew
Right.
we wanted a 2-2.
Yeah.
And
that's
we knew
for
the
the more
area
comfortable. That's a comfortable floor plan is usually the 2-bedroom, 2-bath.
Yes. The second one we got was 2 bedrooms, 1 bath.
Oh, that yeah. You're like,
Learn that's not ideal.
it's ideal for one person, but not for 2.
No.
You're like, I need a good in there. I need to use the bathroom. So
And then we added the baby with 1
yeah.
bath.
You're like, no. Like next time we need to get 2 bathrooms. And usually you like those bathrooms are so big in most of the apartments. So they're very, comfortable. One for that. Like I used to have an apartment and I had like a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, and the master, I would give it to my son. So like he'll have the bathroom and like close the door and nobody will go in and he does his mess. So that was very convenient. So yeah, the 2-bedroom, 2-bath usually are like the most that people search. Yeah. So 2-bedroom, 2-bath, of course, that's what Daisy recommends. So what are some advice that you can give to people, like some pointers, like, okay, I didn't know this and I wish I knew that. And like, what are certain things that you would love for people to like learn, kind of keep in mind?
Look up this is something I did not think of. My husband did. Thank God. I want everybody to do this. Look up the crime maps.
Right. I do have
So
that.
search the crime map because some people might say, Baldwin Park is so nice. I want to live there. But when you look at the crime map, they actually, when we looked it up, it had a lot of burglaries.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not violent crimes, but there were burglaries. Right. But those maps are really helpful so you can determine if there's crime, if there is, what type of crime, and if you're okay with that risk.
That makes sense. I have a relocating moving guide and I have those links there just because like the neighborhoods and the crime and also like police information so they can actually call and find out. And that is very, very helpful. Because like you say, like it might not be like crime, someone, killing someone or violent, but yeah, you want to know if your car is going to be stolen. Like what is the risk? The risk.
Sexual assault is a big one, especially for a woman. You want to make sure you're going to be safe walking, especially if you like to walk and all of that. Another tip I would suggest is before you sign on the dotted line, check your zip code and your car insurance.
Yes.
Your car insurance is affiliated with that and it could spike. We learned the hard way.
True. So true.
So that is a really big one, especially when you don't expect it to go that high. And then when you make the transition.
Yes.
And then once you move, change your ID, your driver's license within
30 days.
Is it 30 days? Yeah, I got stopped.
Yeah, you got 30.
Like a year later.
Right.
And I was like, really? I didn't know you had to change it. Are you serious?
I got stopped and I had my New York license and my Florida license. And he's like, I can give you a ticket for that. So you need to shred that or keep it in your house and don't keep it in your wallet. And I was like, why? I want it for memories. He said, you're not supposed to have 2 licenses. And I'm like, oh, okay, all right. So
really?
Yeah.
I need to keep to my wallet.
Yeah, so I keep my New York license at home 30 days because some people, it takes time. It's just kind of like when you get your tags, they give you about 30, 45 days. But yeah, I got to get
But we didn't know that. Right. So I got stopped because I might have been going a little fast in Winter Park. So I got stopped for that. He gave me a warning for that, but I got the citation for not changing my license.
Yeah, that's a big
Something
one.
I never, and it can cause issues because when I
Yeah.
applied for so I lost the job. Remember, 2 jobs in 1 year. When I applied for the job, I ended up being after 6.5 years. My background check was delayed because of that citation. I had nothing else, obviously. My clear, everything's clear except
But
for
it's
that one
not up
citation.
to date.
I needed to get more information about the citation and why. And when they found out what it was, it's like, okay, it's not that big of a deal.
Because it wasn't updated fast enough for them for the system. Because you've been here for such a long time.
Yes.
Yeah, guys.
And I just did not know. I wish I would have known because I would have changed it.
Yeah, I had an experience with that because I went to Tennessee and I lived there for 8 months, and I never thought of changing my license in Tennessee. And I was like, I'm going to go back to Orlando, whatever. Big mistake, because I went to Tennessee. In Tennessee, I got a car. And in Tennessee, you don't have to have insurance, but I was living in Tennessee, right? So I came back to Orlando with my Florida license, and I got in a car accident. I'm like, I just came from Tennessee, but because I had a Florida license, I was at fault because I didn't change that. So if I would have changed it in Tennessee and had a Tennessee license and came here with my car and say, oh yeah, I just relocated, or I'm actually in the process of transitioning, things would have went totally different. So yes, I learned the hard way as well. So guys, wherever you are going, make sure you are current in that state, even though you think you're going to move back or you're going to stay. Just stay current, because it makes life so much easier in so many ways.
Yes. For everything. Yes. It's a very expensive mistake.
Very, yes. So, I'm kind of giving it to you for free. So make sure, you jot it down in your notebook and do it. So tell us more about what you do now. I know that you have some businesses that you want to share with us, and that it can also help people out. So yes.
I have 3 businesses, and one is I'm a nonprofit consultant. God made a way.
Let's explain that. So what are you able to help? What's the process for that?
Yeah. So I have, 20 plus years experience with nonprofit organizations in different capacities. Degree, I tell people, when I tell people or they see my MSW, I have a social work degree. However, it's the most macro level social work. So policy practice, which is program development and management, fundraising, grant management, public policy, organizational policy, all of that type of stuff. Plus with the fact that I've actually worked in those areas my career.
Right.
So as a consultant, if an organization is needing some help with capacity building, if they need to create some policies, for instance, I can help them create those policies. I can help them with board 101, with your governing board. What are they supposed to be doing? How do you get them in place? Let's train them, create handbooks for them, whatever the case is. But I do capacity building trainings, and I do leadership trainings for them as well. And then, for instance, right now, one of the contracts I have is actually I'm serving as the executive director for a collaborative. Nice. So that's really fun and exciting, and it's something I'm passionate about.
Very cool.
And, even if someone is interested in starting their own nonprofit, I can help them walk through the steps, what to think about. I think too many people, but a lot of people, they're like, I'm going to create my own nonprofit because this is what I want to do. They're passionate about it. There's so many nonprofits out there already. Right? And you want to think about this and be strategic, because there's only, there's a pie of money, right? Let's just say you don't want to take too many. There's already so many organizations taking a slice of the pie, right? You want a tiny sliver.
Right.
Why not join efforts? Maybe you have an idea that when you talk to so-and-so who works for an organization, you can combine your efforts. So then your piece of the pie is a little bigger, just think of a visual on that.
Makes sense. Yeah.
But when there's so many nonprofit organizations, and it's like, okay, there's another one doing the same thing as these 20 within, 10 miles.
Right.
How can we really collaborate? So I can help people walk through that. And I'm really passionate about it, so I can talk about that forever. But we don't have time for that.
That is really cool. Yeah. Okay, and your next?
So that was the first one. The second one is actually I sell beauty products. I'm a Younique presenter. I sell makeup, skincare line. I'm really excited about it. Something I'm passionate about. Am I passionate about makeup? No. I'm passionate about helping women feel confident.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Whether you're barefaced and have no makeup on, or if you are done up, right?
Right.
Feel confident in who you are It's all about who you are and just bringing that out, right? I don't look like this every day. I'm usually like in sweatpants and a t-shirt and we're good. I have a 3-year-old. But once in a while, why not do your face, get done up, whatever the case is. And with skincare, you want to make sure that you're actually taking care of your skin, so that it's the largest organ on your body, right? Is your skin.
Your skin.
Right? Yeah. So you want to make sure that you're taking care of it.
You look great.
So if you want more information, let us know.
Right.
And
I'll put everything in the links so you guys can kind of, they can kind of connect with you and stuff.
Awesome.
Like and then comment below if you have any questions for Daisy. And if you're enjoying this interview, don't forget to like it. But yeah, comment below. So yes, continue.
And then the last one is my newest adventure. I call it an adventure because an adventure just because it's exciting. I have a 3-year-old. She loves to read. And so I just started as an Osborne Books and More consultant, helping people get free books essentially for their kids and spreading the word of literacy. It's so important, especially early literacy. If you saw the statistics, you would be surprised at how many people think they shouldn't talk to an infant or shouldn't talk to their tummies. That actually starts their literacy skills right then and there so early. And childcare workers, they've even done studies where they have these devices and someone told a story of they were like, hey, it didn't pick up any words. And here the childcare worker didn't talk to the baby because they're like, it's a baby. I don't have to talk to it. What? You have to talk to children. No Google, no Gaga. But you have to talk to children.
I mean, people talk to their pets too. You have conversation with. I have conversations with my plants.
When you're putting your kids' socks on, hey, is this your left foot? I'm gonna put your sock on your left foot. Is this a blue sock? But then also pairing that with books. Having books everywhere in the house, having a little basket in the bathroom, especially for potty training. That's a really good thing. Having them in every room just so you can always read. And so that's something else I do is help people get some books for their kids.
That sounds awesome. That one sounds good because I love books too. I mean, if I flip the camera, you'll see all the books are there. So I'm a reader. And I used to read to my son a lot, even when he was in my belly, but he doesn't like reading. I know.
I think it's a generational thing. And I think that's something that we're going to have to deal with as a society. Everything is electronic these days. But it's like, okay, even if I have an e-reader, I like to turn pages, right?
I like to take notes.
I want to touch and feel the book. Everything's electronic these days and they want to do that or they want to watch YouTube, whatever the case is. When I find a kid who loves to read, I'm like, yes, it goes a long way.
It does. I think my son used to love it at a young age and then now he's 16 and it's like just 10 pages a day and he gives me a hard time. That's how you are stimulating your mind and that's how you get ideas. So when you're reading, you're just it's like an exercise. You're exercising your brain, just like when you go to the gym, you're exercising your muscle. So,
exactly.
Exactly. So definitely I would love to get all those links and we'll share them in the description for you guys. And again, if you guys have any questions, comment below what kind of questions you have for Daisy or for myself. And of course, see you guys in the next episode. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you. This was so much fun.
I know. All right, guys, I'll see you guys in the next one. I hope you guys enjoyed that interview with Daisy Franklin. She is awesome and she has so much to offer if you guys are looking to open your business as a nonprofit, if you're wanting to create your own side business selling makeup. She has so much stuff to give you guys and also just to offer. I hope that her story encouraged you guys and also inspired you guys to make some moves. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that little bell so you can get all the notifications, and I will see you in the next video.